Folktales of Hawaii, He Mau Ka'au Hawaii, collected and translated by Mary Kavena Pukui, with Laura C.S. Green.
The 7th District. This story tells why certain people in Ka'u District on Hawaii take great care of their calabash containers made from the bitter gourd plant. It is said that there was once a chiefess in Ka'u who was much loved by her people. When she was about to have a child, she fell ill, and just before the child was to be born, she died. Her body was carried to the burial cave. A great stone was rolled over the mouth of the hole. On the day when the child was to be born, a sprout appeared from the navel of the chiefess and grew out through a small opening at the entrance of the cave and crept away to a considerable distance. One day, the chief of the 7th District saw that a bitter gourd had crept along and was growing well just behind his house. He watched it blossom and bear fruit. As the gourd ripened, he went every day to thump and pinch it to see if it was ripe enough to cut. Little did the chief know that this bitter gourd was a human being. The spirit of the gourd went to a medium to complain of the harsh treatment which it was suffering. The kahuna of that place was brought, and the bitter gourd showed him what was being done to its body, and commanded that it be found and brought back. The priest went to the burial cave, and followed the vine as far as the 7th District. The chief, seeing him beside the bitter gourd, asked him what brought him there. The priest replied that he had come at the command of his master. When the chief saw what a fine gourd it was, he refused to give it up. The two disputed over the matter until the kahuna suggested that they go to see, by following the stem, who had the rightful ownership of that bitter gourd, for the chief would not believe that it was a human being. The chief agreeing, they went to see from what place the gourd sprouted. They followed the stem to the burial cave and went in. They both saw that the gourd grew out of the abdomen of the chiefess. The kahuna brought back the bitter gourd and guarded it as a beloved child until his own death. After that time, it is not known exactly what became of the bitter gourd. To the family of the chiefess who died, the bitter gourds became sacred objects. If one were broken, it was buried with care or burned so that it might not rot. If anyone asked why the pieces were not thrown away, the answer always was, because of the 7th District.